After going through that whole journey, um, where do you think is the next big opportunity in construction with regards to digital transformation or otherwise?
Well, oddly enough, Ali, I did a presentation to a number of general superintendents and digital construction folks at our second technology conference inside PCL, and that's how technology has evolved at our organization. Is we actually have an internal technology conference that we'll likely hold every 2 years to talk about all the great things that we're doing with technology at the workplace of construction. And one of the things, I'll kind of give you 3 tidbits out of that conversation and give you a little bit more than what you asked in your question. One is, I think there's been more technology implemented and downloaded to the workplace of construction in the last 5, 6, 7 years than the history of construction combined. And so there's been a significant amount of technology that's been downloaded to the workplace. And I would say right now, not just PCL, but I would say all contractors that are adopting technology are probably experiencing some digital fatigue. One of the questions you asked me about earlier is about point solutions. And there's been a lot of them implemented around all the domains of how construction gets done. And one of the things that we're actively working on is, one, let's absorb and adopt what we have, because I gave you that example of if you and I are on a project and we're in that 24, 36-month window of a building project that we're on, we might not see some of the new technologies that have come out in the last 2 years, just by the nature of construction being so project focused. So we want to absorb what we have, keep an eye on the significant investments that are happening in contact construction technology, because the investments that are happening today are going to dictate what's being used 3, 4, 5 years from now. So the big ones, 2 or 3 big ones that I see are, I think there's going to be a significant change at the workplace of construction due to robotics. So I think the use of different robotic technology, whether that's floor layouts, demolition, a lot of people don't think of drones as technology, but I'll jump back to that one for a second, taking a step back. 7 years ago, we thought drones were toys. We use drones pervasively today on almost every construction site for many reasons, whether it's quality, looking at the terrain and understanding the landscape before we start building, inspections, so you have to look forward to some of the other technologies that are coming. So wearables, I think, will be another really big technology that will happen. And in terms of augmented reality, and there's companies out there that are really driving investment in that space, and some that you wouldn't even think of. I mean, when you have the 3 big horsemen, for lack of a better term, in a Google, a Meta, and a Microsoft investing billions of dollars into augmented reality technology, something good will come of it. It's not a question of if or when. So I think that will be a big one at the workplace of construction. And then, we've talked a little bit about IoT today. We haven't talked about smart buildings, but a smart building can't exist without Internet of Things technology. And so digital twin, I think, will be something that will happen pervasively, not just in construction. I think JobSite Insights is the creation of a digital twin, or the start of the creation of a digital twin, starting at the workplace of construction. But a lot of the sensory that we use at the workplace of construction will be left in the finished building to enable the digital twin of a building. And for those that don't know, digital twin is a living, breathing digital replica of the finished asset. And so I think that one will change as well. I don't think that's a technology problem today per se. I think it's more the digital twin. I think it's more of a supply chain problem and how buildings get done today. You've got an architect, you've got an engineer, you've got a contractor, and you've got an owner. It's a complex supply chain. And I think that supply chain will streamline a little bit better over time in our very complicated industry that will enable and allow for the design of technology to happen early in the stage. Now it's not a, hey, should we put this in? It's this stuff's already going to get designed into the building. And so the buildings of 5 years from now will be very digitally oriented, because people like you and I also expect the creature comforts of all the cool stuff in the building to be available to us, whether it's, I know that I've got mail in my mailbox in my high-rise condo, to unlocking my door, to having water protection in my suite. So all of that stuff One, we want it simple as individuals. A building owner needs it simple. A contractor needs it simple. So all those things will merge and fuse together. A lot of this technology is still in its infancy and still evolving. But Ali, I'm pretty comfortable to say that if you and I were sitting here 10 years from now having the same conversation, we'd be talking about how the digital twin of a building is now commonplace. So those are the three big ones. Certainly, there's things that are happening in advanced construction materials that are beyond my knowledge. How materials are better, lighter, and more durable. I even see a day where we have IoT sensors embedded into the materials, so we can detect things like moisture, mold, or mildew, and drywall. And then there's other.
Yeah, so basically, like you mentioned, the robotics and the drones, they are pretty much mainstream already, right? So now the next big thing, the digital twins has been around as well in other industries, taking more mainstream into the construction, but combining that with metaverse, having a digital twin which you can actually interact with in a metaverse, I think that's going to be really exciting, right? As to how you can do a lot of things virtually. And that's basically the next phase to the augmented reality, right? Those augmented reality glasses that we've been looking at. Once metaverse becomes mainstream and you can really interact with the digital twin, a lot of new insights are going to come out. Instead of just looking at dashboards and looking at that data and trying to figure it out, doing it more experientially, I guess, is going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think it's going to be an immersive environment now. I think if you look at some of the AR goggles you see today, you can't see outside of those goggles with your actual eyeballs. What I believe will happen is you will look through glasses, but you will still be able to see the natural world as it is today. But augmentation will come through things like marriage to the model. But today, I think those glasses they're absolutely too restrictive for safety in a construction environment. But I think that technology will evolve with the amount of money that's going into the space. So I think it's super, super interesting, super exciting. I think it's a massive opportunity for the industry. I'm excited to see how it's going to evolve. Robotics are definitely still advancing. There's no question that they're mainstream in the sense of the crawl. I think there's a lot of crawling going on, people testing out the robotics. We haven't got to the walk stage yet. The run will be when we have multiple robots working side by side with humans. And while it's scary to say that, I think the tasks that robots will do will be the ones that we don't want to do as people, but they will collectively make us a better builder and enhance that quality, enhance that safety, enhance that operational efficiency. So lots of cool stuff.